Just gonna increase the suspense for as long as I can. Welcome back, travel fans. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides, and on today's Sunday story time, I'm gonna give you all the details of our upcoming cruise. Yes, it is 21 days until our upcoming cruise. I posted that today on Facebook and Instagram, so if you follow me there, you got another hint about what it's gonna be, and I don't know why, I just think it's fun to not announce it until it's getting closer, just because, I don't know, I love this guessing game and the suspense. I mean, I can imagine that it's suspenseful for you, and it's also suspenseful for me in a way too, just keeping it from you. My voice, I'm kind of hoarse. I spent a long week at work, and a lot of what I have to do at work involves using my voice, and it's been, yeah, a lot of people are sick. I was kind of sick, and yeah, so my voice sounds a little bit strange, and I hope that I still have a voice at the end of this video, so I can tell you all the details. But if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, and especially if you are a member over at patreon.com/veryunofficial, then you've seen the hints, and a lot of you have guessed it correctly, and actually, some of you are gonna be on this cruise as well. I'm gonna tell you about it in just a second. Before I tell you exactly what cruise it's gonna be, I wanna tell you a little bit about the process that led up to choosing this cruise. And there's some interesting things that, I don't know, are factors in it. First of all, I have been trying to convince my mom to go on a cruise with me or with us for a few years now. My mom loves beach vacations, and I think you've seen me talk about that topic in some of my other videos, especially my Sunday Storytime videos, that a beach vacation and a cruise vacation are very similar, because a cruise vacation is a beach vacation and you just wake up on a different beach every day. If you're doing a cruise, you know, down in the islands through southern Florida. If you're doing a cruise, you know, through Northern Europe or something, of course that's not a beach vacation, but that's not what I mean. So my mom loves that kind of vacation. She loves being on the water, she loves being on the beach, she likes sipping cocktails as the sun goes down over the ocean. And it's weird because, you know, my mom can't swim. And that's something I've always thought was just a little bit strange. I don't mean that my mom's strange. For me, I've never remembered not loving to go swimming. And so to not be able to swim just seems weird to me. Are you an adult and can't swim? If you are, why? Why did you never learn how to swim? I know why, I kind of know why it all is with my mom, but I don't know, I can't imagine not knowing how to swim. Not a big deal, but I'm just curious. So, been trying to convince her to go on a cruise because I know she's gonna like it. I really hope that she likes it. And I don't know, I think she just didn't have like the right impression of what it's like to be on a cruise. She's in her 60s, and she's bringing a friend with, and I think we're gonna have a really good time, and it's gonna be her first cruise. So that is something that I took into account when we were picking out the ship and kind of the itinerary, because I thought, okay, what are going to be some things that my mom would really like to see, and what are like the circumstances that will help me help her have a good time. You know what I mean? So I wanted to pick a ship that I was a little bit familiar with, or a ship design that I was familiar with, so there wouldn't be that phase of trying to learn where everything was and trying to get my bearings. That's something that I always think is kind of fun about cruising on a new ship, and it's something that I'll miss a little bit on this cruise, but I would gladly sacrifice that in order to help improve the entire experience for my mom and her friend. And Marcus is coming with too, of course, but he's also familiar with this ship layout, which I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm just going to increase the suspense for as long as I can. As long as I can. All right, so then we had to find the dates. I didn't know, actually before we picked out the ship itself, we had to decide on dates. So Marcus and I checked with our respective works and tried to find time off that coincided, and we chose my birthday, which is April 16th, as like to try to put it, you know, like around that. So we would be gone doing something fun for my birthday, which is something we do just about every year. And that led us then that, you know, it shortens the pool of options because some of the cruises started too early, some of them started too late, went outside of the period that we had off. And so we came up with a list of several cruises that would fit into this time frame that we thought would be interesting for all four of us to enjoy. And it's just interesting how easy it is then to just like whittle out or to weed out the other choices. Like, I'm trying to think, we decided not to do Holland America just because I thought, Marcus and I thought that would be a little bit boring for us, although I'm pretty sure my mom and her friend would love it. We decided not to do Disney just because, like I always say, Disney is too expensive, and I know that my mom is going to love the casino on the ship, and the Disney ships have no casinos, so that was also a factor. And then, like I said, I wanted to choose anyways a ship or a line with at least some things that I was familiar with, because then I also know what to expect. And we whittled it down to two different options, and one of them was the Allure of the Seas, and one of them is the Norwegian Escape. And in the end, we chose the one that was less expensive for what you get. One of them was more expensive than the other and offered less goodies, and that was the Allure of the Seas. So we are not cruising on the Allure of the Seas. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people are really loyal to Royal, and I swear, some people only would be happy if I just only did all the Royal Caribbean ships. They don't want to see anything else. But, oh, and you know, I would love to do that too. But, you know, I need the time and the money to do that, and I don't have that at the moment. Neither of those things, unfortunately. So we chose the Escape, and as far as the price goes, the Allure was going to be more expensive than the Escape, and it did not include any goodies. So the Escape cost less, includes drink package, and then we could choose from 2 or 3 other perks. I booked through Josh at cruisesbyjosh.com, like I always recommend, and I don't know if it's something that's always at the moment with this package, but he gave us a choice of, we could pick like one of 3 things. It was like the drink package, the internet package, the dining plan, or I think excursion credit per port or something like that. And so with all those things, it still cost less than the Allure. And that was for me just sort of a no-brainer. I thought, well, why would we choose the Allure then? And if there's anybody at the moment now thinking that we should have taken the Allure anyways, please tell me why. Because when we looked at it that way, I just figured, okay, well, there's no reason to cruise on the Allure now. Let's do the Escape. And the Escape is very similar to the Getaway, which we've been on, and we absolutely loved, except for the small pool area up at the top. I'm still not happy with that, but I think it's been improved somewhat on the Escape. I'm not sure. Find out in 21 days. It's also similar to the Epic, of course, as well, and you know I've cruised with the Epic twice now, so that's going to be a nice thing, is just going to be getting on the ship and sort of knowing where everything is. So when Marcus and I are showing around our friends, my mom and her friend, that, you know, we'll sort of know where the things are, and it won't be about, you know, being confused about how to get to where or what is on what deck. It's all kind of in our heads a little bit, at least. So let me tell you the ports that we're going to be visiting, and I have I've got the Shipmate app here. Shipmate, I said, app here, which is also what I used for the countdown. So we are boarding in Miami, Florida on April 14th, and I've been in touch with some of you on Facebook already, other people who are also leaving for cruises on the 14th out of Miami, and somehow I want to set it up. I want to like get pictures of each other on each other's ships. So somehow we have to set up a system so that we know where to look, so we can like wave to each other, because, you know, all the ships, they pass each other while leaving port, and one of them, I'm sure one of them is going to pass the other one. So How can we set that up? There's got to be a way. All right, so we're leaving Miami on April 14th. We sail out late at 8 at night? Wow. And then the next day, we're in Nassau on the Bahamas, and I have varying opinions of the best thing to do on Nassau. I've made a few videos about Nassau, and what I hope to do this time is to take everybody to Atlantis again. But I'm not sure if that's going to work out yet. I have to see if I can get that set up like I want to. Otherwise, we might go to the Blue Lagoon. I think that looks pretty cool as well. The next day is a sea day, and that's my birthday. Oh, so for my birthday, we're going to be at sea. So that'll be a nice day, spending a great day on that amazing ship. Then on day 4, we're going to be in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, a port that none of us have ever been to, and looking forward to it. I just hope it's warm. I'm so tired of winter. I just want some warm, sunny weather and feel the sun on my skin and the warm water. So we don't know exactly yet what we're going to be doing in Ocho Rios, but I'm very happy for any suggestions. Remember that my mom can't swim but likes being in the water. She's in her late 60s and gets around pretty well. Marcus can swim but hates being in the water, so that's also a factor. And I love swimming. I know the reason I mention that is just because people, will suggest things like snorkeling or tubing and things like that, and I don't know. Well, just send me all your suggestions. And if there's anything that you think we definitely should not do, like don't waste your money on this, don't do this excursion, please, please, please let me know as well for any of these stops. All right, the next day we're going to be in Georgetown on Grand Cayman, another place, never been. No idea what we're going to do yet. Still have, 2.5 weeks to sort of decide. And Josh has been sort of pestering us, being like, you guys need to decide soon if you're going to book some excursions. Things might get booked out. So, yeah, what do you think we should do in Grand Cayman? I know it is a place that people recommend to go snorkeling. So maybe that could be something like that. Or maybe like a glass bottom boat tour or something like that. Could be interesting. Day 6 is at sea, and then, it's kind of a shorter cruise because then on the next day, day 7, we're already back in Miami. And after Miami, we're going to be, or when we get back to Miami, we're going to be staying there on the beach for another 3 or 4 nights before we fly back home to Germany. So those are all the details, and there is another surprise connected to it. And I'm not going to tell you that yet. Ooh, it's so suspenseful, I love it. Ooh. This has a whole different, I don't know how to explain it without giving it away, but there's another part that another detail that I haven't told you yet that I'm just going to keep that to myself until the time has come. But I know a lot of you are going to be really happy and excited about that as well as Marcus and I are too. So those are the details. And yes, I'm glad I got it off my chest now. And now we can all talk about it. And now comes the time of the Sunday Sofatime video, where I look through the comments from last week's Sunday Sofatime and answer some of them right here. And it always takes me a while to find them. Last week, we talked about the gigantic, amazing makeover coming to Royal Caribbean's private island, Coco Cay, down in the Bahamas, which we're not visiting on this cruise, of course, because we're not cruising with Royal Caribbean. And a lot of people had a lot to say about this, including Scott Short, who writes, "They paved paradise and put up a parking lot." That's a song. Ugh. Thanks for the heads up. We'll be there in a few weeks and we'll report back. Scott, like I said, or like I wrote here on YouTube, I totally agree with you. I feel like it's a pity that they have this beautiful tropical paradise. They're going to be tearing down all these trees and paving it over to build a water park, albeit a pretty awesome looking water park, but I think it's going to take away from the experience. And Scott, please, when you're there in a few weeks, please, if you can see any construction, take some pictures, or maybe if it's some video, and we'll talk about it here on a Sunday Storytime after that. That would be awesome. Scrolling down here. Allison Mullis says, with putting in the docks, they will now be able to bring in the huge ships and potentially have multiple ships at the same time. This probably necessitated them to have more stuff, she writes, stuff, to occupy people on the island so it doesn't feel overly crowded. You know what, Allison? That's a really good point. I think it was like a one-ship-a-day island, probably. Had anybody, or have any of you ever been to Coco Cay on a day where there were more than one ship there? And yeah, I think that's a very good point. There's only so much space for people with the way the island is set up now, and this way it would be, yeah, a better way to get more people there and have them be more spread out with more things to do. So, good point. All right, good point. And one more. Raymond Mulitalo says, it feels like they're developing the island merely let me just start all this over again. Raymond Mulitalo says, it feels like they are developing the island merely to put things down that they couldn't fit on their decks. Sad. Well, yes, but, you know, like I said in my video from last week, I don't think any of these things are things that I'm not going to enjoy. They're all things that I think are really cool. I just kind of wish it wasn't on Coco Cay, because I really appreciated the Coco Cay experience when it was just this tropical island. But I don't think it's sad that they're offering this to their guests. And like I said, it's kind of just a cool, exclusive feature, and only guests of Royal Caribbean on cruises that stop there will be able to enjoy it. So, I don't know. I'm just going to wait until it's done, until I get the chance to go see it before I really, like, say if I think it's great or really start to tear it apart. You know what I mean? All right, that is the Sunday Sofatime video for this week. Thanks everybody for watching. My voice held out. That's good. A couple things I want to tell you before we go. I am really busy with some other projects at the moment, and it is very possible that until we leave for the cruise, that I will only be doing Sunday videos and that there won't be a Friday video as well. Please forgive me. Please bear with me. After that, I'm going to have all this footage from the cruise and so the videos then into the summer and until our next cruise or our next vacation are going to be back to normal with Fridays and Sundays, and it just might be a couple weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. I might just do Sunday time videos in order to keep up with my other projects as well. Special thank you, as always, to everybody who supports me on patreon.com/veryunofficial. The VIPs' names are running right now. And a extra special, super uber duper special thank you to Judy Weber. Judy, it's your day. This is your special shout out. I'm so sorry that I missed putting your name in the credits. I know exactly who you are. I'm always happy reading all your comments. I feel like I have a connection to you, and that's why it's even more embarrassing that I didn't realize that your name hasn't been in the credits all these weeks. I'm so sorry, and whenever we run into each other in real life someplace, I promise I will make it up to you. So, see you guys next week. Bye-bye.